Guys, welcome to the Sky Media Ventures podcast. Man, we have an episode tonight. Here with three of one of my favorite friends. They're from the Delray Beach Run Club. We all run together, been running for the last year, maybe more. We have Brooks, Laurel, and Jacqueline. We are here to talk all about running. So guys, thank you for coming on to the podcast. Laurel, Jacqueline, Brooks, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and so part of this show, we're going to talk a little bit about our experience, running, our development, and then towards the end, we're going to talk about we're going to talk directly to all those new people who want to get into running or who decide they want to have a little bit of lifestyle, athletic lifestyle in their life, and so we'll be guiding into that kind of direction. But I'm curious on everybody here. I know how I got into running, obviously, but I'm curious on all three of you guys. How did you guys get into running? And I want to start with the ladies first. Laurel, I'm looking at you. How did you get into this crazy thing called running, and why did you even stick with it?
So I grew up playing soccer competitively and played into college. And once I was done and still kind of played a little bit competitively, but nothing was giving me that same satisfaction that I was getting from the competition of playing soccer.
Sure.
So I ran my first race, I think, in 2023 and didn't know what to expect. Ended up winning it and just stuck with it since then.
First race, already a dub.
Never would have expected it. So
I love that.
collecting dubs.
And how long have you been running for? How many years now?
I would say I've been a runner my whole life. My dad was a runner and, continues to push me and inspire me. So I feel like since I was like 10 years old, if I picked on my sister, he would use running as a punishment. So whether I'm thanking him or,
Using running as a punishment. I remember in college, the other coaches used to use running as a punishment.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking wow, give me that punishment all day.
Thank you.
I'll take that.
Right.
Yeah, I think Jacqueline's running 8 miles after this. That's and she loves to do that. And that's not punishment. And Jacqueline, I'm curious, how did you even get started into this crazy sport?
I was the opposite of Laurel. I did not run or do any types of sports growing up in college or high school. I actually got into running after college as I was working in fitness. I worked for Barry's Techno Gym, and just from being around fitness 24/7, I decided that I wanted to sign up for my first race. Turns out I was good. I BQ'd in my first marathon, and I haven't stopped running marathons or crazy distances since.
For the audience, what does that mean, BQ'd?
Boston qualify. So for my age bracket, I had to run underneath a 3 hour and 30-minute marathon. So I did a 3:26 for my first marathon in 2019 running New York City.
Wow, that's amazing. So Laurel starts running her first race. She wins a race. Jacqueline does her first marathon BQs, Boston qualifier. All right, did you win a national title or something? Because you need to top these ladies. I'm just kidding, but I'm curious, Brooks, how did you get into running, and how many years have you been doing this thing?
So it all started basically when I got tired of Little League Baseball when I was about 11, 12. And Dad was a big inspiration, being the head cross-country and track coach for University of Miami. And basically I remember running my first mile at the University of Miami's track. I think it was like a 740 or something, but I remember going to the track with Dad, and that's kind of what hooked me. And I remember being on teams, middle school, didn't win my first race, but I worked at it, and college became a 3-time NJCAA All-American in the 4x8, 10K, and 5K. And in the 4x8, I was kind of thrown into it because the guy had to bail out. He had baby mama issues, but
That's funny.
I didn't want to do it, but, I took one for the team.
Brooks, if someone's getting into running, and they've seen you've been running for so long, they hear you're an All-American, I'm curious, what advice would you give someone? Like they're just getting into running. I mean, I don't know if you're a coach, but Sometimes I get people that approach me and they're like, "Hey, Nate, we see you running all the time, but I've never imagined myself running." Like, what kind of guidance would you give them? Just curious.
I would say join a run club or a community where you can, start out slow with the miles. Don't think you have to be on my level when you start, or don't think you have to like put in so much work at the beginning. Like start slow, consistent. And if you'll see that if you're very consistent, you'll outwork the people that are talented naturally.
No, I love that. And dude, your dad's also a runner as well, right?
Yeah, dad and grandfather, so third generation.
Third generation runner. How good was your dad? Just curious.
I mean, he showed me his college. I think it's the, I don't know, 30th or 40th anniversary where he won the Mason-Dixon, where they were running 5-mile races in college and not. But he was still, like he ran Boston. And this guy, like, you're really good when you joke about running, like, oh, I jogged at 2:45.
Yeah, right. To the audience, they're like, "What the heck does 2:45 even mean?" It means
2 hours and 45 minutes.
It means this guy was healthy. He jogged in 2:45. What about you girls? Like, do you guys ever get like approached by people who are like, "How the heck do you keep running all the time?" Like, I don't know. Do you ever have family like reach out to you girls and like, how do you even do it? Like, what advice would you give them? Like, I'm just curious.
So definitely, because from people who don't understand the joys that people get from running, it's kind of like until you experience it for yourself, you don't understand why us crazy people do what we do. But one of my favorite quotes is, "It's better to be consistently good than occasionally great." So it compounds. You just show up and do the work. And truthfully, I didn't start feeling confident at the track until I started running with you guys. I mean, you find people, you find mentors that are at the level that you're at and just hang with them. And you could say that about everything in life. Just find people that are living the life that you want to live and spend more time with them.
You exemplify that so much, Laurel. I remember one time I was at the FAU track and it was pouring rain, and Brooks and I were in our cars because we were sheltered, and the only girl on the track was Laurel, and she was just like putting in all that hard work. Don't you remember that?
I remember that.
I remember that as clear
Warm
as
up.
day. I'm thinking like, Brooks, why are we in our car? Laurel's out there putting in work. I was actually starting to get jealous. I was like, "Here, come on, Brooks, let's go out there."
I was enjoying.
Yeah. What about you, Jackie? If I know this before the show, but you've completed 6 world major marathons. If somebody's like, "Hey, Jackie, I want to complete my first marathon. But I want to get fit. Maybe I've lived a healthy lifestyle. I've done some bad stuff, but I'm trying to get right." What's like the first thing that comes to your mind that can help them out?
Yeah, I mean, I run coach on the side, outside of my busy job. But this is something I tell my athletes all the time. Like, let's just start. It's one foot in front of the other. It's as simple as that. You're not going out. You're not going to win the race. So put that aside. Like, you're not going to come in first place. I think the goal here is let's just finish the race. And hey, we're lucky we get to move our bodies, because a lot of people can't move their bodies. So that's like a mantra I tell my athletes to just keep in the back of their mind, that they're lucky they get to do this and to have fun with it, to take some of the pressure off.
Yeah, I think sometimes we overthink a little bit. We overthink, and then we have to remember we should just start. We should just start, put one foot in front of the other. And I think if you're trying to hit greatness, you got to be consistent. So you got to start and then be consistent. And that's one thing that I got to get better at openly, and I'm getting better at it, being a little bit more consistent. Because I've noticed that like when you're consistent doing this strength thing, doing the abs, doing the stretching and the small stuff, it makes the fun track
You're
stuff.
right.
It makes the fun track stuff even more fun. But when you're not doing the abs, not doing the hips, maybe not stretching as much, or not sleeping properly, or eating properly, it's like, oh, running sucks. Like, do you guys feel me?
Yeah, it's all the little things that add up.
I think so. I'm curious. Was there ever a distance that you guys wanted to do, but just haven't really done it as much? Like for me, it's the mile. Like I wish I could. I'm trying to race the mile more. Is there a distance that you guys like are kind of wanting to do a little bit more going forward? I mean, for the audience, when we say distances, we got 1 mile, we got 5Ks, which is about 3 miles, 10K, 6 miles. Then people have half marathons and marathons. So like for you guys here, what kind of distance that kind of gives you an inkling to do?
I mean, I won't wake up for a race that it takes me longer than to get there. So if a race takes 15 minutes to get somewhere, you'll never see me running a mile or running a 5K. I just like to sleep too much, to be honest. I'm that kind of runner. I do all my runs at nighttime. So I love distance. So a half marathon, a marathon. I've done ultras, but I want to get into more ultra marathons. So that's anything further than 26.2 miles. That's kind of where I'm going right now in these days.
I love that. What's the furthest? I didn't know you did ultras. What was the
Yeah.
furthest on that?
So I've done a lot of races that were unsanctioned called the Speed Project. So I've run from California to Vegas before. I've run across the Atacama Desert in Chile, the south of France.
Wow.
I've done Philly to New York City before. So again, they're all unsanctioned. It's kind of just like go at your own flow. You have a group of people that are doing this crazy thing together and make it there in one piece. And if you get stopped by the cops, you're just friends running along the side of the highway.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you literally ran in France?
Yeah, the south of France.
Wow.
Started in Chamonix and ran all the way down to the south of France in Marseille, where the beaches are.
And I love that. What I love about Jacqueline is she didn't have the college experience, and she started her running career journey right after college. When I was in college, there was like teammates telling me, hey, we're going to quit running right after college is over. There's so much to explore in the sport. There's so many places to go, so many people to meet, so many scenic views to watch and look at that the sport offers. And I don't know about you guys, sometimes I love waking up super early, start time, the sun just coming out, you have all these people around you, and then someone says go. And you got all these crazy runners all around you. But Jacqueline, I want to talk real quick. You're a run coach. Tell us a little bit more about that, just in case there's somebody listening and they're trying to look out, or look for a run coach.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure what you're looking for me to tell, but anybody who wants to get into running, I'm more than happy to help you. I do like to work with beginner runners and runners that are just kind of starting out. I don't want to work with someone who is like myself, who's trying to get better, who's trying to get faster, and meet certain time qualifications. I think it's just a lot of pressure to put on myself as a run coach while I have a full-time job on the side, or I guess that's not on the side. Run coaching is on the side. But
The job was on the side.
I'm there to, put plans together, help people literally just put one, foot in front of the other and figure out what works for them, how many days a week, how to balance strength training, cross training, all of those things, to just, do their first race.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Certified.
What's a goal you have for yourself in, I mean, you just accomplished a huge goal, I think, completing the 6 world majors. But do you have any other future goal for Jacqueline and your running?
I mean, I'm trying to break 3 hours in the marathon. So fingers crossed, Philly in November 23rd. 2:59:59 would be great. I'm sitting at a 3:01 right now.
That's
so
sub three right there.
that is my goal, to shave off 1 minute and 30 seconds of my best time. So that's what I'm working towards right now.
I have a feeling you'll get it.
I hope so.
Just so everybody knows, sometimes
This way I can retire from marathon running.
She says that now.
Well, I would've said.
I just want to run slow and eat snacks all day long. That's why ultras are for me.
Laurel's going to pick it up after you retire.
Yes, she will.
There you go. I'll follow in your footsteps, or at least hope to. I got some big shoes to fill, though.
And that's actually what I was going to bring up, big shoes to fill. I'm curious, what's your guys' favorite running shoe? Just in case there's somebody listening and they're like, man, I want to get started. What equipment I need? Well, they need a pair of shoes. What's your guys' favorite easy day run shoes?
I'm the worst person to ask for this because it changes every day. It just depends. And as soon as you find a model of a shoe that you like, they come out with a new one and you don't like that one as much.
Yeah.
So
Is there a particular brand that you kind of favor than others?
I race in Nike. I train in ASICS, in New Balance. It really just depends. Like, I am all over the map.
Yeah. I've been favoring the New Balances a little bit recently. I like their cushioning and stuff like that. What about you, Brooks?
So
you rock Brooks?
for racing, yes, but for everyday training, I've been very consistent with the Nike Air Pegasus. That's the only shoe I've found that they don't change it like crazy amount, or has been very consistent because it's a neutral. It is a little stiff, I will say, like the first couple runs, but I mean, I've done ASICS. I mean, this is going way back, like DS Trainer when they came out with it, like the first time. But yeah, Nike, Brooks have done, for spikes, have done New Balance or Saucony.
Nice.
I remember there was a guy, Ryan Shea, who actually died running a marathon. He had a heart attack, and they named the shoe after him.
Yeah, I heard about that. I think
Yeah.
Ryan Hall was in the race, or Meb
Ryan Hall,
Meb Keflewski
Meb,
was in that
yeah.
race. I think
The
it was
big-
I think it
the
was
big
Olympic
guys.
trials.
Yeah,
Wow, that's horrible. I hate that.
I know.
But anyway, he was wearing a good shoe.
Oh no, they named the shoe after him.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that.
Best spike.
Brooks, I'm just curious. Have you had any embarrassing moments while running? Just curious. And I'll switch a story with you. Switch a story with me.
Okay, I guess high school would have
Not too
been-
embarrassing.
Yeah, so high school, this was what, third high school when I moved up to Maryland, it was Catonsville High School. We're doing summer XC training, and we did like 4 miles. I wanted to do one more, but the coach was like, okay, we're only doing like 4, and I'm like, I just want to do one more mile, you know. She's like, Brooks, stop running, and I'm like, and then someone's like, that's the only time coach is ever gonna say like, Brooks, stop running, and then she was like, you never disobey me like that again. And like, it cost me a captain position. The guy who she named captain had the same last name as me, but made up for it in college. I was a captain my sophomore year.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna tell you my story. You ready?
Sure.
I was running in the woods one time, and I had to use the restroom. I couldn't find a restroom, so I ended up going in the woods. It was real bad. It was.
Happens. It
sounds
happens.
We've all been there.
We've all
Yeah.
okay. I know everybody's looking at me.
I
like,
think that
man.
happens to me once
Yeah.
a week.
I was
at
gonna
least.
say,
yeah.
sounds like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just running just like clear, like it just makes your insides
Yeah, I mean-
working
Your
properly.
body
so.
said, "This is weighing me down.
Yeah,
Time
yeah.
to go."
I have
Right.
no
Time to
shame where
go.
I'm going to the
No,
bathroom
me
these
either.
days.
No.
Me either.
I'm glad
I
you
mean-
guys feel
Catch me on the
same way.
side of Federal Highway.
Yeah.
100%.
No,
Very
it's just-
comfortable.
100%.
Metabolism, everything just activates like really quick.
Yeah.
And it's coming whether you find a restroom or not.
Yeah, right. I'm glad sometimes we run on the. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys favorite places to run. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever ran in like the mountains or maybe the West Coast. I'm curious, what are some of your guys' favorite places to run, and where do you feel is the easiest to run? Because from experience, I've ran a lot in Florida, South Carolina, Vegas, and then Colorado. And Florida running is so different than South Carolina running. Florida running is so different than Colorado running. Florida running sometimes sucks. You know,
I
it's
feel like I'm going to die in Florida every single day, honestly, and get hit by a car. It's more difficult here than in New York City.
100%.
Yeah.
that humidity,
Oh.
man. It's so heavy.
Humidity and old people driving.
Yeah.
I know she's playing dodgeball
Yeah.
with the traffic.
Right.
My favorite place to run is probably New York City. Put me in between a bus and traffic cars any single day, and I don't know, I feel very free.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna text
Central
you.
Park, super boring.
It's so
Cars,
funny.
traffic,
Yeah.
I'm right there.
I feel so the opposite. That's
Times
crazy.
Square, favorite place.
Yeah.
I was gonna text Jackie before this. Hey, you might not want to run in this area afterwards because there's so many buildings and people everywhere.
My favorite.
And she's saying
Traffic.
that's her favorite.
Yeah. She's like, all right, count
Give me the
Is that
cars.
home?
All of the cars.
Yeah.
count me in.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. What about you, Brooks? What's your favorite? Like, have you ran in the mountains before?
Closest to that was Colorado. I actually ran with my dad when I was starting out in Breckenridge. We ran down the side of a mountain, and I remember like not being used to the elevation, and I was like wheezing. And
How high was it?
I don't remember how high it was, but it was pretty high.
I got a question for you guys. Is there such thing as a runner's high, and do you guys experience it? And I'm curious because I think all four of us have like a different runner's high and like what that means. What about you, Laurel? You're looking at me. You're shaking your head. Tell me what does it mean to have a runner's high, and what goes through your mind when you're going through it?
So I have an interesting take on this because I'm now starting to taper from my marathon training. So there's definitely a runner's high. And once you start, and you're, getting into, your playlist, or you're not listening to anything and you're just taking in the surroundings. And then at one point you realize that you don't even feel like you're running. Just every step feels weightless. So that's kind of how I would describe the runner's high. But I'm about 13 weeks into the 16-week block of marathon training. And there's something about those dopamine systems that when you do it consistently every day for 13 weeks and you're like, all right, where is it? Where is it?
Yeah,
Is it coming back?
Yeah, they're looking for it.
Yeah. So
Does it take more miles to get it, or no? Or does it happen usually 25 minutes usually into every?
yeah, like
training
sometimes it takes a little bit longer for it to kick in, or sometimes you're just like, oh, this is a banger playlist, and then you're just like, oh, it's because I made it. So it just depends on the surroundings. And some days it's like, oh wow, the sunrise is beautiful, and then it just starts downpouring. But that's what you get for running in Florida.
Do you ever feel like listening to music makes your heart beat faster, and thus ruining the heart beating, running and stuff like that?
Not necessarily, and I'm more of a audiobook. Well, it depends on how long I'm running for, but audiobook, podcast, sometimes just my own thoughts, sometimes music, sometimes like some Disney soundtracks. Like it really just depends on the mood. But I usually don't try to decide the night before. I have to wait and see how I'm feeling the next morning.
Gotcha. Only reason why I ask you that is I've noticed on my watches when I run easy runs, my heartbeat will be 143 or something like that, or 44, maybe sometimes higher. But when I'm listening to music, it's always like 10 beats higher, and I just feel like the tempo of some of the songs are a little fast paced, and I'm running on my runs, and I'm like, oh snap! Like why is my heart I'm listening to like boots, so it's like obviously my heart's going up.
Yeah. EDM.
What about you, Jacqueline? Do you experience a runner's high when running these marathons?
I feel like it's been a while since I've had a runner's high, to be honest. I think I have to agree with what Laurel's saying. I'm just like always training for something that lately, as sad as it is, running has started to feel a little bit like a chore. But when I'm not training and I'm kind of just like running for fun and just going out and, I don't know if it's like 3 miles, if it's 30 minutes, if it's like whatever it is, that's kind of like when I experience a runner's high. Because I'm like, oh, this is fun. I forget why I do this. It's not always for like a goal or to like get better or like go for a race, but it's kind of like on those days where it's kind of like I'm just going out and running to run. That's when I get a runner's high. But at the end of every run, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I just ran. Like, I feel amazing. Have I never finished a run and been like, that was terrible, or like, I wish I never ran to begin with? So maybe it's like the aftermath of not realizing I'm having a runner's high when I'm having the runner's high and then finishing. And I'm like, that was great. And I did have, like, if I did have it, if that makes sense.
100%. I think I feel it a little bit. Definitely, like go into the run, you feel the runner's high, but after the end of every run, you just feel accomplished and like proud of yourself too. Like you're all sweating, and I've always thought about this. Like my skin looks way better after a run than like
we're glowing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Basically.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Brooks? Runner's high.
Runner's high, it's mostly been on longer runs, kind of like the floating feeling, where you kind of just, it kind of feels like almost like spacing out for a second, or like the sunrise, or basically you're not even thinking about running. You're kind of just going with the flow, and it doesn't even feel like you're doing like 5 to 10 miles. It just feels like another day out there. And then as soon as you're done, you feel like calm, relaxed, and just like everything's cool, and you can go tackle the next task or whatever you want to do next.
Brooks, you're also like super consistent with running these days. That's why I look up a lot about you.
Thank you.
What's in the future for Brooks? What are some goals you're trying to hit? You trying to fill your pop's shoes?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to get there.
It's okay because my pops ran too, and he was fast. He was fast guy. My uncle ran, and that guy was a 13:52 5K guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, that's.
But,
I mean, yeah, dad's still
I think
running.
your dad ran super fast like that
I mean,
too.
40 years old, still running 15-minute 5K. Like, and winning races. Like, I think he won Baby Boomer race. I mean, 40 was like, he was still running like crazy. Like,
that's amazing.
But
I want to be 40 running.
Yeah,
sub
he's
16.
still running now, 70s. But yeah, I think for me, it would just be getting closer to what I was at college, like 16. So like then the next year I want to get under 17 for 5K. I want to do some of the longer ones. Like I've never done a half. Like I've just done a full marathon, but I feel like that was a bad one because it was 3 loops. So it kind of turned me off from like longer racing for a while. And then COVID happened. Got very inconsistent because I had a job that was basically very at night, like 3 to 11:30, and it was like messing up my sleep schedule and just routine and everything. And then basically it changed when I came back to Florida because came back, lived with parents. Obviously, Dad said something about not being consistent, so I kind of took that a little bit more personally.
Sure.
And then I look back. I know most people don't do it anymore, but like I used to write down my runs, even the bad ones, the bad races, the good
On like
races,
on a training log
on a
almost.
training log.
Love that.
I mean, isn't that what we have Strava for these days?
Oh yeah, it's a digital footprint,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Brooks, you're also pretty consistent with eating, and I'm curious with you girls too. And I'm genuinely curious. What are you guys eating to fuel your runs? What did you eat a lot to do those 6 marathons, like throughout your training and stuff like that? Like if there's someone listening and they're like, running sounds good. I got the shoes. I got the inspiration. Now I'm running. I'm burning fuel. Now I need a refill. What are some foods people should eat to kind of, what are foods you guys eat? I'm curious.
Coach Jackie, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Oh my God. I actually did not take any nutrition or fuel for my first marathon, so do not follow what I did. These days I'm a lot better. I take gels, experimenting with different, flavors and brands right now to see what I want to use for Philly. Big fan of UCAN. I've been using this chia seed gel lately. I forgot what it's called, but it's pretty good. I'm actually a really big candy eater when I run too. Nerd clusters all the way.
No way.
I'll bring them out on a run with me in my pocket in a
did not know
Ziploc
that.
bag. Yeah, big on Nerd clusters, Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish. I use a lot of candy when I run. If not, have a bagel when you wake up in the morning, definitely a few hours before. That's what I do on
Easy.
marathon day. Can't say I fuel properly when I do my practice runs either. During the week, I'm pretty healthy. On the weekends, I let go a little bit. I don't really drink. I used to be better at nutrition when I cared more about running, but now I'm just so busy,
When you
trying to
did-
get it all done.
When you did care more about running, what kind of foods did you eat? I'm curious. Just a couple, especially for like lunch and dinner. What are some?
I mean, I was just eating, grilled chicken, a lot of broccoli, I would think I would have pizza on the weekends to fuel my long run, and I was just super clean, like as healthy as I could be.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. What about you, Brooks? Do you eat anything in particular that keeps you on this consistent pace?
I will say,
and I know, and I feel what a lot of people are saying because we're burning so many calories. I
Right.
think we can like eat a lot of so food because we're burning so much. But are there particular foods that you like to kind of stay more on that diet because of a performance?
yeah, I will say like fruits. I'll do like pasta. I'll do for like track days. I'll do like eggs before, like for lunch, like eggs. Fruits, a little bit of veggies. I'll try to eat as clean as possible, like some bread. Obviously, long runs, I'll just do like a piece of bread. I don't really do goos and all that.
Yeah.
But or I'll take like electrolytes or some kind of hydration before. But yeah, I would say like kind of the lean meats. Like I'll do like red meat, chicken, turkey, like lean turkey. Do like turkey chili. That's good for like a bunch of foods like tomatoes, beans. I mean, it's if you want to perform good, you kind of have to eat cleaner, but you can get away with some stuff like pizza and pasta. Because I know everyone loves pasta before like marathon or 10K or
I love pizza.
like pasta nights, and like you don't need all that pasta.
I'll tell you what I've noticed. Dates are
Dates,
good.
yeah.
Like in replacement of like coffee in the mornings, if I can eat a couple dates because they have like a lot of sugar.
Right.
Sweet potato. I do a lot of boiled sweet potato where I'll take take a whole raw sweet potato, chop it all up, boil that, and then just eat that with a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
And then I used to drink a lot of beets, like literally beets, orange, apple, skin the beet, chop it all up, put it in a blender and just blend it and just slurp it all down. My
Yeah.
pops and I, we would do that. Um,
Even avocados too. Pretty good.
yeah, no, avocado is super great.
Yeah.
Super great. Guys, I want to hear about a time in your running career that you'll remember forever. Like almost like an achievement. Maybe you won a race. Maybe something happened during that running event that like you'll remember it forever. I know I have a couple like life altering events that happened to me in a race that like I'll remember that forever. I'm so happy that I won, this race and this happened. Do you guys have any particular moments in your running career in your life that you remember specifically that you're so glad that you had that experience?
I would say every race that I've done, I've learned something from it. I've grown as a runner. I think from my first run or like my first race, which was a 15K, I think there was something about going to the start line and looking around and seeing all these. They just looked like runners. They had the Oakley sunglasses. They had the flashy, shorts and the shoes. And I mean, I had no idea what to expect. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get cooked. Like all these people like clearly look like they know what they're doing. So then when I ended up winning, I was like, maybe there's something here for this. And it just propelled me into the next race. And, I ended up doing really well at my first half marathon. And then that propelled me into another race. And so I guess there's no one pivotal moment. It's just a compilation of multiple moments that has helped build my confidence and allowed me to want to pursue bigger feats.
Sure. That could have been a crazy feeling looking around at that start line, seeing all these fit people.
Still happens every time.
Yeah,
Oh my
and you're
God.
thinking like oh,
Yeah.
I'm about to race these people. Like this person looks fast.
Yeah.
This person looks fast.
Yeah.
I feel you. I felt the same way. Done that so many times before. What about you, Jackie? I'm curious. Was there ever like because I know you've done 6 majors. Was there a particular major that was like just like outstandingly better than the other majors, or was there a memory that in your running career that just you'll remember that forever?
Out of all the majors, I mean, New York is definitely my favorite because that's my home and the energy and the crowds, it's just like nothing you've ever experienced before. But with that said, I think Berlin was probably one of my fondest memories. It was my second fastest race that I've ran, but I was able to be in the same corral as 2 of my best friends, and we were the same pace. We pretty much trained together that entire summer for that race. So for the first 18 miles, we all 3 of us pretty much ran like completely next to each other as if it was just like a training run the entire time. We kind of like zoned out the entire marathon happening. And because like we were able to be with each other for those 18 miles, like doing those last few miles on my own when we kind of like separated a little bit, like it was just so easy and like there was just no pressure. And it was just like, okay, it's like 6 more miles now. Like I can just finish the race. Like it's great. So that was definitely awesome. I mean, London was my fastest marathon. So that was great. I hate Chicago. I have PTSD. Sorry, Laurel. It's my worst race. I've ran it twice and I will never go back.
Why? Why Chicago?
The first year I ran it was the year after COVID. And I think I just had this like energy that I was just like going to do so amazing. I started in Corral A, and that was definitely the wrong corral to be in because I'm not an Olympian or an elite runner. And I think I just got lost in the race and went out way too fast. And it was like 90 degrees that day. So we're used to it from Florida, so you're fine. But by mile 16, I just like crumbled and I wanted to quit. And I went back to Chicago last year for redemption. I did a little bit better than my first year in Chicago, but I think I just had this mentality of like, I hate Chicago. Chicago sucks. That I just like didn't have any fun running it. So yeah, I will not go back. Third time is not the charm for me in Chicago. Boston's great. It's fine, but it is what it is. I made it. I did it. Yeah.
I love that. You're running right next to the professionals and Olympians.
Yeah.
She's probably like I can only imagine Jacqueline like in her race uniform, like literally running like 6:20 pace.
Yeah,
for the first 10
thinking I'm an
miles.
Olympian, and nope,
Yep.
I'm not. So
No.
got hit in the face real quickly with that one.
Yeah, the wall hits you real quick.
Yeah,
I knew
Especially if
she,
it's 90 degrees.
literally the worst.
what about you, Brooks? Do you have a time where
Yeah.
maybe you did a race, or was there a special memory that you have maybe through your collegiate or high school?
Yeah, so there's a couple. One was high school or start of high school. It was up in Maryland. It was my grandfather's local electrician 5K race. It was the first 5K I actually
Not the
won,
local electrician.
or a local union. So
I love
basically,
that.
yeah,
Do they need advertising? I'm just kidding.
yeah. So basically, I went there and I was like, there's a couple people that look like they're fast, but I'm just gonna go out and run my race. Ended up winning it, and then I went out and finished with my grandfather, dad, and there's like a picture of us like all finishing together.
Nice.
And then for college, it was
Because you guys are
definitely
3 generational.
three generational. Yeah,
Cute.
yeah. He still even ran and walked till he was about 70.
Wow.
Yeah, he was
I'm
like,
sure you feel proud. You get to carry the baton in your family.
yeah,
And I feel that way too, because
right.
uncle was super fast. Father was runner, so and then
Right.
myself. But you're 3 generations: grandfather, father, and then
Yeah,
grandson. That's amazing.
right.
So now, kind of make it
Yeah,
4 generations.
or yeah, could.
So what was the second time in college? What was that race?
So that was more of like a regional nationals. So our regional, we would win our regional the first 2 years, and that was the first time I was kind of like on a winning team because every high school team I was either like one or two, but the whole team wasn't like all like stacked.
Sure.
But we were the first, and Gary was on my team as well. You guys ran with them. We were the first team at XC Nationals to be third. We were trying to go for first, but it snowed the day before. It was in Finger Lakes, and it was a tough race. Like
Was it regionals or nationals?
that one was nationals.
Okay, nice.
Regionals we would always win, but there was one other school that was like D1 from Chicago that would always beat us.
Yeah. Did you ever race the 800 or the mile in college?
No, so well,
Wow.
I did at John Hopkins. I did the 15. It was like I was in the slower heat of that. They have like 5 or 6 heats, and there'd be a guy. He showed up to all the meets and he's like, "Everybody got to run today." But no, best mile time was 4:48, and that was at Club Penn Relays,
That's
Towson.
respectable.
Yeah,
It's respectable.
no, it wasn't a miler. Better at the longer stuff.
Brooks is one of my favorite people in the world. He's like one of the only people I know where I'll text him at 8 p.m. Hey, you ready to get up and wake up at 5 a.m. to run for 10 miles? Yeah, buddy. I am ready to do that. Guys, we got to find more friends like that where you hit them up and then you guys wake up before the sun wakes up and then you guys are putting in miles. I really
Yeah,
appreciate,
thank you.
training with you, Brooks. And then you
Same here.
girls as well. Every time we run with Jackie, she
Yeah.
has a good pace going. On.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that. Guys, we're going to go ahead and conclude soon, but, thank you for coming on the podcast. I just want to do one more special, topic to the audience, for anybody watching who wants to take their health up to the next level, wants to take their fitness from maybe couch to 5K or couch to just a couple miles. What's something that someone can start implementing today to start leaning towards that lifestyle? I'll go first. I think people could really start with, like Jackie said, taking that first step, realizing that it's like boom, you just got to get out the door and you got to just get out there. What about you, Brooks? If someone's listening to this, they're a fan of the show, but they want to become more athletic, they want to have more energy levels. What's like one overall thing that you would give to them?
I would say definitely got to take the first step. I would say start with a group. Definitely, start out slow. Don't think you have to be running like said plus miles a week. Just start with 1 to maybe 3 or 4 days a week where you're going maybe like a few miles up to. But I would say, yeah, you got to take the first step and then find some other people to run with. That's the way you get faster.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. What about you girls? Like, if someone's watching this, there's going to be hundreds, thousands in the future watching this. they respect the show in the fact that it's helping them develop, helping them achieve their goals. But we're talking about running. What's something that someone could do just to kind of start leaning towards that healthier lifestyle, Laurel?
I would always say mindset is everything because your body will do whatever your mind tells it to.
Yeah.
So I think it starts with believing in yourself and knowing that you have it within you to do it. And, all of us were beginners at one point in our life, and all it takes is that first step. And sometimes that first domino is all you need to, get yourself off the couch, to, put one foot in front of the other, and then, see where it takes you.
It goes back to the saying you gave a quote earlier, another quote, Henry Ford, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you, like literally, whether you think you could do it or think you can't, either way, you're right. So I respect that about you. What about you, Jacqueline? Someone's getting into fitness. You got 6 world majors. You got a little experience. You ran in France. How would you help? What would you tell them to kind of get into the lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we all have that common theme of just like start. So start, but start small. Have a goal in mind. It doesn't have to be running a mile. Hey, why don't you run to the stop sign at the end of your street? Why don't you walk it out then right after that for another 60 seconds? Then start running again. You don't have to go out right off the bat and just continuously run your fastest, hardest mile. It can be run, walk, and that's totally fine. Like walking is a part of running. So you just got to start, like Laurel said, have the right mindset, put yourself first, and just move your body. Movement is medicine.
Yeah, I love that. Every time she talks, she always brings out another gold nugget. The first one was start. Next one, start small.
Yeah.
You can't start big. You gotta start small. How do you eat an elephant? There was a famous quote, a book, one bite at a time. But guys, thank you so much for taking some time out of your guys' day to come onto the show, to come onto the podcast. We only invite people who've done amazing things with their life, and you guys have definitely exemplified that. So thank you for coming on. Guys, audience, if going forward in the future, we have more guests coming on board, stay tuned on the Sky Media Ventures podcast, and don't ever forget, sky's the limit. You got this. We believe in you. And guys, let's say farewell. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.